Two Jews walk into a Starbucks. Sounds like the beginning of a bad joke? Well, it's not, and it's gonna get juicy, so make sure you stick around to the end of this video to see what's really going on, because today we're gonna be talking about Tom Brady, the Las Vegas Raiders, and Matthew Stafford. In an apparent happenstance meeting that took place between Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford in Montana, where apparently Tom Brady has a house and they just happen to be skiing at the same resort. Now, this could be problematic for the Las Vegas Raiders. There's all kinds of confusion going on as to how this is going to affect the Raiders, because this could be tampering or not. We're going to get into all that and more on today's episode of the Raider D Podcast. Thank you so much for being here, Raider Nation. And if you're not a part of the Raider Nation, why not become a part of the Raider Nation? Because all other teams pale in comparison to the Las Vegas Raiders, because we have the mystique, we have the culture, and by the way, we have the cool factor. All the other teams don't have it, so come on over to the dark side. All right, Raider Nation, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button and comment down below. It helps the algorithm and helps us to continue to grow. Appreciate each and every single one of you for being here. Tom Brady had a meeting with one Matthew Stafford, and there's been a lot of hype going around as to whether or not the Rams are going to move on from Matthew Stafford. Remember, this guy was a Detroit Lion for a long time, had a lot of talent, a lot of skill, won a lot of games, threw a lot of yards, threw a lot of touchdowns, didn't win a lot in Detroit because, well, it's Detroit. And then he goes to LA in a trade with Jared Goff and wins a Super Bowl. Great. The dude, I think he's like 37 years old. So he's getting up there in age. Extraordinarily talented quarterback. He's not a super mobile guy, but he is a dude who can throw the ball all over the field. And if you give him the talent around him, the dude will light you up. And now the Rams are looking to get younger at the quarterback position and move off of a very expensive Matthew Stafford. And so apparently they've given him permission to speak to other teams and come up with a trade proposal that would benefit the Rams, Stafford, and the new team. Well, Tom Brady has a chance encounter, according to one Ian Rappaport, but according to one Jordan Schultz, a fellow Fox employee like Tom Brady, who basically just straight up ratted him out and said it wasn't just a chance encounter, it was a full-blown, full-court press pressure to get Matthew Stafford to come to the Las Vegas Raiders. Apparently, Tom Brady, according to Jordan Schultz, hosted him at his own home. They were together for at least all day, went skiing together, broed it up, you know what I'm saying? One QB to another, one Super Bowl champion to another. Hey, nothing awry going here, nothing under the table happening here. Well, that's what Ian Rappaport is saying. This was a happenstance. They just happened to be at the same ski resort, had a little conversation, maybe a cup of tea or something like they do in New England. I don't know what they do in New England, never been there. But apparently, this has now caused a lot of confusion and hype and fear. Let me get into each one of those. The hype is, with the Las Vegas Raiders, a Matthew Stafford, that's a major upgrade. I believe in Aiden O'Connell. I think he has some potential there, but it's not proven. Matthew Stafford, on the other hand, is a proven quarterback. He is a guy that's going to win you a lot of games. So if the Raiders can figure out a way to get Matthew Stafford on this roster for 2025, best believe we are in compete now mode, not rebuild, right? And so that's the hype part about this. But the reality of this, and will it happen? That's a big if, and we'll get into that as well. Here's the fear factor, though. If this meeting took place the way that Jordan Schultz said, it could technically violate the NFL rules of tampering, because an owner, which Tom Brady is, cannot have those types of communications with players on other teams. However, here's the big kicker, and this is where it's a gray area. Now, apparently, Tom Brady's going to have he's going to have to go before the NFL. He's going to have to answer some questions as to exactly how this all took place, and I'm sure Matthew Stafford will as well. But if the NFL wanted to punish the Raiders and say that he violated the terms of no tampering NFL rules, then the Raiders could lose draft picks. And that's major. We're talking potential first-round draft pick being stripped away from the Las Vegas Raiders because of this meeting. However, I'm here to tell you, Raider Nation, I don't think that that's going to happen. I don't think that that could happen. I think that if Roger Goodell and the NFL went after the Raiders in that fashion, then all hell would break loose, because the Rams have come out and said, we gave him permission to do it, and therefore it's not tampering. And so the Raiders should be absolutely fine. It's getting blown way out of proportion, and so obviously, I have to make a video about it. But I for everybody that's worried that Tom Brady just cost us draft picks, it's cool, bro. We're gonna be just fine. The Raiders aren't gonna lose any draft picks on this. It would be such hypocritical of the NFL to do that to the Raiders when you literally have the team that Matthew Stafford plays for and is under contract with saying, we're totally cool with this. We gave the dude permission to do it. Okay, so that's water under the bridge. But here's the juicy part. This is the funny part. This is the part that just made me wake up this morning with a smile on my face as soon as I read it. And that is that you have literally Jordan Schultz, who is Jewish, Ian Rappaport, who is Jewish, at a Starbucks in Indianapolis for the Combine, getting into an altercation over Tom Brady and this meeting, and Jordan Schultz article versus Ian Rappaport basically crapping on his article. And Jordan Schultz just straight up G'd up on Ian Rappaport. Apparently, he went up to him and said, say it to my face, and we're gonna have a problem, yo. That got me, so I was laughing, man. That was so funny, because listen, if you look at both of these guys, I guarantee you neither one of them's ever been in a fight in their life, and they're at a Starbucks. Literally G'ing up on each other at a Starbucks is absolutely insane and funny. But apparently Jordan Schultz was really upset that Ian Rappaport basically crapped all over his breaking story, because Ian said what Jordan's saying is a lie. That never happened. It was just a coincidence. They both happened to be at the resort at the same time and ran into each other. Listen, I don't know what resort it was. I'm pretty sure it's one of those more high-class, expensive resorts that the two of them were at. I don't think Tom Brady's going to go, because I used to live in Montana. I used to go to a ski resort up there, and it was like for everybody. It was cheap, like $5 you get a day pass. I'm pretty sure that's not where it was. So it could have been a happenstance, because these are two very rich, very famous people. But I'm going to lean towards the, hey, Matt, I'm going skiing this weekend. Want to come up with me? Let's go. Right? I think that's more of what happened. So I believe Jordan Schultz, that his report is much more accurate. And I think that Ian Rappaport may be just trying to cover up for Tom Brady, saying, no, this wasn't a big deal. I don't know if Ian Rappaport and Tom Brady have a good relationship or not, but it seems like Tom Brady was covering for him, so maybe they're buddies or whatever. And I don't know how Tom Brady feels about Jordan Schultz right now, but Jordan Schultz did rat him out, and he's a fellow Fox employee. So Jordan Schultz could be, facing some issues here as well from his employer Fox for spinning a story out there about a fellow employee. So we'll have to see how that affects Jordan Schultz and his career opportunities with Fox Sports. But I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. The main thing here to take from all of this is this. Tom Brady's doing what Tom Brady's supposed to be doing. He is supposed to be out there using his GOAT status to improve this team. And that's what he's doing. So I'm all for it. I'm all in it. Let's go. Matthew Stafford to the Raiders. I honestly not sure that it's going to happen because it's probably going to cost a lot, but it better not be a first-round draft pick for a 37-year-old quarterback. I'm thinking we're probably looking at a second and maybe a third-round draft pick for him next year, maybe a third this year since we have two. I don't know. It'll be a big improvement to the Las Vegas Raiders because Matthew Stafford is still a great quarterback and still has at least a good 2 to 3 years left in him. Let's go, Raiders. If you guys agree and you want to see Matt Stafford in the silver or black, drop that comment down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and, as always, hit the like button on the way out. Go Raiders!